Hi guys, welcome back to Brutal Doodle. We are again joined by Miss Elena,
Hello.
who apparently has something to say about the way I say Brutal Doodle. She thinks I say it funny or something because she started chuckling when I said
Doodle.
Brutal Doodle. It's hard to say. It's a fucking hard word.
Doodle. Doodle.
Brutal Doodle. Today we kind of are gonna, I guess, get a little bit more abstract with it because we don't really have a topic in head. The month of October is already over, so it kind of would be a little bit repetitive to do a Inktober series or finish it out. I mean, we're spooky people, so we'll like do spooky stuff. But today, I think we're gonna be a little more abstract. Elena said we should toy with the theme of color. So Elena, you are on the stick. I'll let you do with what you want. I'm gonna give you the color vermilion.
Vermilion's like a
It's like a scarlet red. Yeah.
And
then the diamond. Yeah.
Like that kind of red.
That's a perfect vermilion, actually.
Yeah, well, you said you wanted to do shapes too.
Well, I mean, we can morph it. However, just have fun with it. This should be fun. This isn't homework.
It's too stressful.
How familiar are you with the sketchbook? Because I know that we both have done it on our phones
I haven't done it on the computer.
Well, this is a different version because the one on my Surface Book is the Windows 10 version. I don't know if it's different, but this is I think it's like I got it from the Microsoft Store, whereas this one I downloaded directly from the Autodesk website.
So are these all the brushes?
You can hit that little tab right there. I believe,
okay.
Yeah, you get all of them.
All right. I was like, this is like nothing.
I really like I forgot which one it is, but there's one that I really like that I go to a lot. Just do something fun. Do use a fucking pastel.
Don't want to use a pastel, but I don't want to use a marker either.
I like the
Since
I like the felt tip.
Rough.
Oh, okay.
Rough. Maybe that one.
I can later on show you too how we can edit brushes too. You can basically make your own brushes.
Yeah, I play with them on my phone, but
sometimes the presets are just a little better.
I mean, it looks like a marker. I don't know. I'll play off that, I guess.
Okay.
It's already there.
Something that I've been doing more often with my physical work that Lena's kind of has been as well is we've kind of just been doing like kind of abstract line work and just making shapes out of it. And if you want to turn on, I think it's this one. It'll help you like even out your brush stroke. Is that what you're looking for? I think that did it.
Was that predictive strokes?
That's predictive stroke. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with this version of it. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And I do a lot of like black line work. I use microns and Faber-Castells. I actually prefer Faber-Castell. The microns are pretty good too. And I don't know, I guess we can maybe work some of that in. I mostly just do, like I said, just black. I think I want to start incorporating some more color into it, but we'll see.
Some more color?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like your line work though.
Thanks, babe. Well, all my physical work, like I started, like when I started actually doing art for like seriously, I did a lot of like traditional tattoo designs, which is very heavy line work and it's very, very like clean straight lines, which I think that's kind of where I like kind of force I have a very heavy hand too, so I kind of learned how to keep it steady and keep it straight. Which I think is kind of helped blend to what I'm doing now, which is more like very heavy straight line work. And even if it's not straight, like it's still like geometric enough to where it's kind of the impression of it being, because like the human eye is very good at picking up mistakes and patterns, which is kind of cool.
So what would you say? Because I asked you this like a million times. What would you say your favorite color is right now?
Probably vermilion right now, honestly.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, like
because you've been listening more Slipknot.
I mean, it could be part of it. I don't know. I've always liked red. But I don't know. I mean, like to wear obviously black. I like wearing gray too, and maybe some browns. I don't know. Do I look good in brown? I don't have any brown shirts.
You don't really wear brown.
I wear a lot of black.
Yeah, it's like
I
black.
like green. I like wearing green.
Sometimes you do earthy tones, like your flannels and stuff.
I like green.
Or like, yeah, like your green jacket. Your brown boots.
Yeah, I do wear my brown boots a lot.
Oh my god, that just reminded me. The other day I went to Del Taco. That day I got you that amazing burrito.
That's a pretty fucking good burrito.
And I was with Ray when I went to the drive-thru, and I was so nervous. And when I went to go order, I was like, "We're ready," and I felt myself like internally die.
Did you do it on purpose?
No, I didn't do it on purpose.
We're ready.
We're ready.
Well, that's something I kind of been talking to you too about. Is like I'm trying to be more assertive and very like clear and final with my words.
More
I'm trying to
wordy.
not, especially with being on YouTube, like hearing myself talk a lot. It's kind of like, oh, I'm not good at talking. So I'm trying to be more clear and more like final, not like very, not let my words lead off and trail off. You know. Cool.
Sorry. I was just so distracted. I was listening to you though. Yeah. Have you been doing it as much? Maybe I just haven't been paying as much attention.
Like
I remember the day you brought it up. Consciously?
Consciously, yeah. Like I've been trying to just be better at talking and be more assertive with my words. Not in a jerk way, just, you know, trying to mean what I say. Say it with my chest.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
It was really embarrassing.
Don't be. It's cute. You're a girl. If it was me, it would be a little different because sexism.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sexism?
Against guys, yeah. That actually looks really cool, babe. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
You should incorporate some blues in there and smudge that out.
Ooh, that sounds like...
Put in some periwinkle.
Periwinkle will be closer to blue, right?
Yeah,
like white, though.
Actually, I change it. Blurple.
Blurple?
That's your favorite color.
That's not my favorite color.
What's one of your favorite colors?
This?
Maybe turn it a little bit more. That's fine. That's good. That's good.
Maybe a little more blue?
Yeah. No, it's good. Honestly, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
It's never good enough for you.
Speaking of which, I kind of, as I told you, I've been listening to more metal. I started listening to Death Punch again.
Oh my god.
Fuck, I don't know how did I ever listen to that?
Did I put that in your playlist?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
I don't know. I
think I thought about it.
One of
you were
the,
like, it's not metal.
They're metal, but they're just not very good metal. Well, the first album is kind of okay. Second album is actually pretty good. The third album is fucking garbage, and I love that album.
Garbage.
It has a few good songs, but like, it's pretty like unlistenable. The Wrong Side of Heaven album, that one's pretty. They have like, I would say like an average of like half good records. First one's okay. It's still kind of dumb, but there's some good songs in there. It might just be nostalgia kicking in.
Probably.
But that second album is actually pretty good. Objectively, the first one has some dumb songs, like The Bleeding. I think it's kind of dumb, but like White Knuckles is pretty good, and there's some good songs. Some songs are fucking dumb though. I don't know. It's funny. Like as I'm getting back into Slipknot, with a band that actually has like teeth and, you know, has some I don't want to say grip, but some
Mr. Edgelord over here.
No, I mean like it actually has like I guess it gets some teeth to it. I guess. Listen to a band that really is just not very like just dumb, easy lyrics, and I don't know. It's funny. It's also you can tell like how produced they are. Like he probably doesn't write a whole lot of his songs, just because it's very generic metal. Like, if there was a time for you to walk the fuck away, it'd be right fucking here, right fucking now. it's a total like generic douchebag metal. It's beat down metal, which, I mean, hey, I'm not in a band, so I mean they're better than I am, but
not good enough.
I don't think I'm gonna listen to them very much anymore. I was always very apologetic for them, because they always had.
It's freaking out.
Get off. No.
Oh wow. Please hold. I mean, you don't have to undo. We can leave it.
Okay, I mean, leave it. Actually, looks kind of cool.
It's just spazzing on me. I haven't even put it down. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am.
Is it being weird? Come on, whack him.
Whack 'em. Oh, what the? Sweet. Is gaining control once again? Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Maybe it's okay now?
Yeah, but let's undo some of that.
Uh,
oh, whoa.
It's okay.
That was all one stroke. Leave it or
I was
unleave it?
tripping out. No, take it off.
Okay. Yeah, weird. All right. Thanks, Sketchbook and Wacom.
Thank you.
Anyway, I don't know, I guess. Do you want to, I mean, something that you kind of told me that you were a little hurt by was that I didn't, well, I asked you twice.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
I asked you to be on the Joker podcast, and unfortunately couldn't because you had work or something. And then I asked you to be here for last Brutal Doodle, which I didn't plan on talking to Haley about Joker, but you're like, I don't want to about Joker. So let's talk about Joker, babe.
I don't want to talk about Joker.
Why not?
Because, I don't know, I feel like there can only be, like, so much...
Well,
like,
I haven't had it. We haven't talked about it since we saw it together. Because I saw it with Laina.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
That you did.
I did. So let's discuss. What do you think of it? Since you really don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm just I don't like this anymore. I don't know what happened.
Okay, let me go into it.
You're gonna go into it?
Yeah, let me get into it.
Alright, fine. My hands are cold.
This is Salmon on the pen.
Yeah, the pen.
Where is my layers?
Are you gonna make it a different layer?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some stuff in the background.
The background.
How do I move it?
The little arrow that's right.
It says merge. It's not merge.
No, that's no. Stop it. No, don't merge. No. So go to that one. Go to there. Yeah.
Yay, smart Laina. Tell me thoughts on Joker.
Thoughts. I don't know where to start.
Well, did you like it?
Well, of course I did.
Why, of course.
It was just really good. The way it was just so real, I guess.
What do you mean by real? Like how
like,
realistic it was?
Yeah, like it wasn't like your average.
It wasn't fucking Justice League or something.
Yeah, there was like, which I mean, there usually are like real life problems because most like heroes or villains have like second identities, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Like they have their real life. It depends on who it is, but they have their real life, and then they have their like superhero life.
But this was all his actual life.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't putting the mask away.
Yeah.
Or putting the paint down, so to speak.
It's very like you see the build-up, and you see like, because it's sad because you see him make an effort to like feel better, to like try to be positive, and not lose his shit.
This is also coming from someone who you and me both have had problems, mental illness or just mental problems. So I feel like we, especially you and me, connected very well to the Joker. Which I mean, he also was a very sympathetic character to begin with.
Yeah.
But
Especially because he wasn't going out and antagonizing people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes it so like much worse because then essentially he is a victim, you know, like I mean I don't think that should necessarily define someone and their actions, but I'm kind of glad, I guess, that he essentially became who he did, which is Joker. And
well, I mean it was his what do you call it, his I don't know, it's not rebirth, but like his, I guess his validation, I guess.
Yeah, like a place that he can belong and be seen and not ignored and spat on and just, you know, there's some kind of audience that is seeing him, and that's one of the biggest things that he wanted. He wanted to be seen.
Well, I was telling Tony, like, at the end, like, he never gives a shit about the the whole trash thing going on. He is not for or against it. He doesn't deal with it.
Mm-mm.
The reason he's so happy on the top of the truck at the end isn't because, oh, we the people won the labor dispute. He's just happy because someone's actually paying attention to him.
Yeah.
Which is almost kind of like,
I mean,
I guess the point is that his ideals are reflected by what people feel by the Gotham elite, but he wasn't losing, like, his labor. He wasn't dealing with that. So it is almost vanity at that point, which shows that he is why is this, what the fuck? He is like a flawed character.
Yeah, but also, like, his mom was like a narcissist.
You think so?
Definitely. Just because she only ever talked about herself. She didn't ever take time to, and I know she was ill, but, like, it was always about her and what she needed and him taking care of her and how her day was waiting for that damn letter. And
oh, yeah.
and not how his day was. And, he was going through a lot of shit and he didn't have anyone to sit there and actually
I didn't think about that. Like, even, like, because I made the case that, like, he wasn't mentally okay and yet he was the caretaker. But I didn't even consider that, like, his mom, she doesn't really give an effort to show, like, to care about his career or his love life or lack thereof or anything. Like, he doesn't really. She has no, I guess, real care for how he's doing. I don't say that, but, like, essentially, like, she doesn't ask him how he's doing, which.
Well, yeah, and he experienced that too with his therapist,
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a major point, that, like, he's invisible, basically.
She wasn't even an actual therapist, I think. She was a caseworker.
Yeah.
But still, like, he even went over that point, well, like, have you even been, like, listening?
Well, he's like, you don't really listen, do you?
Yeah.
And she doesn't respond. I guess she doesn't respond to that either, because it's like, she just totally avoids that question. And also, like, he's like, I didn't catch it the first time, but he's like, I told you I want to be a comedian. She's like, I don't think you did. He's like, I'm pretty sure I did, which shows that she actually doesn't, like, there's points where you see that she's not listening to him.
Yeah, and
she's just there doing her job, which is kind of what we talked about actually the other day, about, like, like, how, like, it's
in terms of the education system.
Yeah, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who actually really do care, but a lot of people are just doing their job, and they don't give a shit if you get better or not.
Yeah, and usually when you do have those teachers
fucking moth in here
that show that they do care about you, it's very apparent.
It's also very liberating too, like, especially as a teenager, like, oh, hey, I'm not invisible.
Well, I even have a teacher from, like, 5th grade who, like, to me, she just wanted to be, like, really involved, and it was, like, really exciting when she ended up transferring to my middle school, and I got her as my 8th grade teacher. But she would even do things like, she obviously asked for permission first, but, like, for the parent-teacher meetings, she, like, asked if she come to our house and, like, meet our parents.
That's cool.
And so, like, my parents and I made cookies for her. She would send us postcards when, like, she would go traveling and we were on vacation and stuff like that.
Sounds like Miss Honey.
Yeah, she was very involved, and she was very sweet. She took a picture with every single one of her students. I don't know if she continued to do that, because it is a lot of effort. But that year that I had her, she took a picture with all of us. It shows that she actually, like... She had, like, all of us, when we were in 8th grade, take, like, a class photo together. And she was very involved. And I actually invited her I invited her to my high school graduation, but I know she changed her last name, and I didn't know her last name that she changed it to.
Give her a shout out. What's her name?
Her name was Mrs. Trover.
Trover?
Yeah, Trover. Trover.
I had a teacher named Miss Trevino. She was nice. She got pregnant.
Trevino.
She got pregnant and moved to Italy.
Ooh.
With her white husband.
Yeah, white husband.
Yeah. I think she was white too, so I don't know.
Like, okay. Relevant how?
Yeah. Not just, I remember him being white. Oh, I also had a crush on her, I think, too, was the thing.
I do feel bad, though, because I did steal a book from her. It's like this illusion book. So if you stare at it cross-eyed or like
one of them's.
Yeah, and they like pop out and stuff and look all cool. I do feel bad about that, but at the same time, she took away my Tamagotchi one time.
What a bitch.
Yeah, and then she said she'd give it back to me at the end of the school year, and you know what? She never did. So...
You know, fuck her, I'm glad she didn't come to your goddamn house.
Unforgivable! My brother bought it for me for Christmas.
Oh, I love Juju.
Yeah.
You should tell how Juju tried to kill Rocky.
Oh my god. How my brother tried to kill my dog.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't try to...
He tried to kill Rocky.
So, my brother has always been, like, really passive-aggressive, like, from a really young age. And if you were upset, like, he wouldn't tell you why or anything. And, so, he didn't tell me until, like, a few years ago. But I guess when we were kids, I'm 21 now. We had to have been, like... He was probably, like, 5, so that would have made me, like, 11. And he tried feeding my dog chocolate because he was upset with me.
The dog who you love very much.
Yeah, like,
and I do too.
In love with that dog. Like, he is my baby. I honestly, like, would lose my crap if he died. And...
He's getting old.
I know, but Andre's, like, 14, and he's still kicking pretty hard.
Rocky's what? 9?
8. No, he just turned 9, like, 2 months ago.
Little baby boy. He's a schnauzer. He's a cute little guy.
My little old man. Yeah, he's so cute. He's my cute little old man.
Give me some colors.
Give you some colors? Well, right now I see you working with green and blue.
I don't know why. I'm just vibe checking. I hate that so much. I'm just vibing.
Get something that'll neutralize yet complement that bright green. Oh, okay. I'm like, well, if you want to get rid of it.
What's the opposite of green? Red.
But you also remember, you're on a red. There's red on top of this, so just keep in mind.
A duckweed.
You ready? What's like... Because I know you don't have any siblings, but what's like did your cousins ever do anything like fucked up to you or like prank you?
They would they would hold me down, tickle me until I peed.
Oh, you did tell me about that.
Which I mean, I think it's more funny now than it didn't like fuck me up. You know, I don't pee myself in bed at night thinking about
Every time I tickle you, just pee your pants and start crying.
That's a good defense mechanism, though. Just start peeing.
Your pants. That's like, okay, this is like weird and gross. Has your pee ever smelled like popcorn? Or like...
I don't know that I can recall. I mean, I can't say no because I don't know.
Because I literally recall one time, since we're talking about peeing our pants.
How did this come up? Holy shit.
I was like 6 maybe. And I don't even know exactly what happened because it was so long ago, but my grandparents had neighbors that had like kids that I would play with, and one of the girls I was playing with one day, I was at her house. I don't know what happened, but I ended up peeing my pants. Mm-hmm. And I just remember it like smelling like popcorn, like buttery popcorn, and I don't know if maybe that's like just the like observation from a child's perspective or if it like really smelled like popcorn, but it was interesting for me when I had that revelation.
What do you think of Us? We just saw the movie Us, the Jordan Peele movie.
Goes from peeing our pants to Us.
And I really, really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked how, like, I don't know, I guess we kind of, like, were able to make observations, like, throughout the movie.
Well, it definitely is a movie. I think even more so than Get Out, like, that is built for more rewatches, because it is, like, there isn't really like a big twist in Get Out, I don't think. Whereas there is one in this.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like in Get Out, it's just like
It's very straightforward. But I mean, it does offer itself to more rewatches. Of course, with like Rose, like her actions become more insidious. But I mean, I don't think that enhances the film watching any more than the first time. Or I feel like Us might get better as you watch it more. I don't know about getting better, but there is more insight in there. We weren't crazy on the ending though.
Yeah.
Which I guess spoilers for Us. I thought it was kind of it's a very easy ending.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like.
Well, it also didn't make. I mean, like in context, like it didn't really make a lot of sense either because both characters act as if like the only leading time that you ever actually see that they might be traded places was when the mom Adelaide kills. She starts like kind of like growling like a dog. That's the only time really that ever becomes more of a possibility. I guess also that the Shadow Mother talks. She's only Shadow who talks. But I don't know.
But it was kind of like we didn't get the point that she was the only one that talked. You know, it was just kind of like, oh, she's the leader.
Well, it's something I noticed.
So
yeah, but I don't. Yeah, exactly.
You could have like brushed it off, like, oh, she's the leader. She
kind of
probably planned this out,
like Caesar, like Caesar in Planet of the Apes.
And we didn't know about the tunnels yet, right?
Well, they mentioned in the beginning, but they didn't. I mean,
they don't say like where she came from. Like we were still trying to figure out where
they don't say until the end when she actually goes to the tunnel.
I feel like that also isn't like a direct giveaway, but I feel like some of the dialogue and stuff, I feel like the twist should have came out a lot sooner, or like differently, you know. Like
it was very easy, and like also the monologue she gives near the end,
it blends in.
You don't dig it?
I don't hate it. It's just hidden under.
We can keep playing with it. The monologue she gives is very much like from the perspective. There's no way that girl could have been another girl. Unless it's like an it type thing where like the further away they get from that place, the more they forget, or them being there reverts them their psyche. So maybe she actually did forget or something, you know. And I don't know. I mean, if so, that isn't stated. I mean, it didn't ruin it for me. It's still a good movie, but like it was just kind of like this seemed like it could have been done a little better.
I think it was pretty cool too, though, how they like incorporated a lot of like. Mentions to other films and stuff.
Oh, like Chud and Jaws and
yeah, and like how, you know, like they brought up Thriller and
oh yeah. Well, it's cool that Thriller actually became like and Hands Across America became that like inspiration of like the red suit and one glove and then of course holding the hands.
Holding hams, rum ham.
I also kind of was thinking back, like in terms of cultural exposition, the family doesn't really ever act quote unquote black. The only time they really do is listening to "I Got Five on It," because that is a hip hop song, of course, and you know more associated with African American culture.
And when the dad went out the second time.
Well, but you could tell that it was very faux.
Yeah.
Like the cops already on their way. Like it's very much like it was very forced. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was also I didn't really take anything away from that. I just got that they were kind of just a regular family, but it was kind of like it did seem a little out of place to make them.
Well, I think they did that kind of on purpose though, because. I mean, especially after, like, some of the videos we watched and stuff.
We watched videos from New Rock Stars and Wisecrack and Jeremy Johns.
Yeah, and I don't remember which one said it, but they mentioned...
It's code switching? I think that was Wisecrack.
Well, no, not so much code switching, but, like, how Peel, like, basically, it was... to reflect, I feel like it was to reflect on where our like, I guess priorities lie, like the things that we care about materialistically.
Oh yeah, well that's definitely a point in the movie too. It's
like his insecurity, with
of like, oh,
neighbor.
I bought a boat to do that, but like the guy underground doesn't even have a fucking boat,
Yeah.
Which I took the movie at first glance, and I still kind of stick by it as an allegory for immigration, which I haven't really seen much of on the internet. I'm sure someone else thought of that too, but I definitely got immigration. Fear of the other invading, which, I mean, depending on when this movie was written, I mean, 'cause that's always been kind of a fear anyways of immigration, but especially in this context.
Where does that connect to? How do you connect that to immigration?
I guess because it is the less fortunate trying to have a better life than the ones who aren't taking it for I've also seen it as like a class struggle, because as we saw in the beginning,
Definitely.
the guy had a black flag shirt. He was a carnival worker, probably making like less than minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Who really felt like he's probably empowered by Black Flag music. And then we see the very privileged daughter, one of the twins, wearing a Black Flag shirt as a fashion statement. So it is that kind of bastardization of an icon like that. I think immigration, because it is a fear of invasion, which I think is definitely a big cultural point right now of Mexico, and I guess other places as well, at least in America at least.
So you think because they relate it to home invasion?
Not necessarily. I think it's just. I probably have to rewatch it to I don't have anything prepared to say, so it's just that's what I got, and I guess I'm basing this just on like poverty stricken immigrants who are confined to these less than optimal living situations.
Yeah.
And are kind of forgotten by other people, by society, and the privileged. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which, I guess could be an allegory for any type of class struggle. It just hit me as immigration.
I mean, I could see how it could be possible. I don't see it as the main, point of the film, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it could definitely be influenced by it,
Well, also Jordan Peele takes a lot of influence from. Well, also, I mean, because like with Get Out, it was very much an allegory for living as a black person post or during the Obama administration. People are saying, oh, of course, racism is dead, or whatever the fuck they were saying, and being white liberals with, I guess, more subtle racism, which I guess that kind of does make the point. I know this is kind of getting off topic, but is racism more than just hate?
Do you think that it's more than just hate, or do you feel that some people are too easily offended?
I don't know if it's more than just hate. I do think it's ignorance, which can lead to hate. But like,
if it's not hate,
I don't believe in this. But I've heard the case said that like the N-word doesn't hold power unless you say it with hate. I don't believe that, because it still is a very heavy word.
Well, yeah,
and has history.
Certain things, though, I feel like.
How the fuck did we get here?
They can be seen as racist or insulting.
I kind of believe it's what you feel on the inside.
And well, yeah, but then,
I think there's a difference between being culturally ignorant and being racist.
Yeah, because what if genuinely you just don't know?
Yeah, or like you weren't meaning to be offensive.
You're not trying to be offensive.
I mean, both are offensive, but I think that there goes racism stems from hate. That's what I believe.
Well, I guess something I could compare it to is like, for example, the trans community. There's
well, I guess it's just bigotry in general, and racism being one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, but there are some people in the trans community who are understanding that sometimes it's not always apparent as to what they identify as.
Oh yeah.
And
We talked about that. Where like if I, call you a male, and you identify as a female, although you still appear as a male. I don't think that's really my fault, but more than happy to be corrected. Just I don't think you should be angry at me, because I feel like it'd be a very easy and accidental mistake.
Yeah, exactly. And I follow some people, like, I don't know if you've heard of Blair White. She's kind of controversial sometimes.
No.
She's a YouTuber, and she's even talked about how she's not okay with people in the trans community becoming aggressive or angry when you appear to be...
I'm sure it's frustrating.
Yeah, which is like when you communicate, like...
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, I identify as this, versus like...
Well, also, this is very new, too. And we don't have a streamlined way of knowing who identifies as what,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to justify, lack of knowledge. I would feel bad. It hasn't happened to me, thank God. I don't know many trans. I know a couple of trans people, but if I get corrected, I'll apologize. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Thank you for correcting me. And I'm sure it can be frustrating to be called something you're not over and over again. But especially I say if you do identify as something else and you look as though you don't, like our friend Jay, for instance. Jay kind of looked like a girl up, and I'd say even during, she probably looked more like she is now he. Probably looked more like a lesbian. You would assume. I would assume when they were still before they had surgery.
I believe that's how they identified originally. Like.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
So,
but I'm saying even after they started after they transitioned to becoming a boy.
Yeah, but there was still like an effort to appear more masculine. There's some like controversy, like there's a individual that goes by the name Jessica Yaniv, but it's really crazy. Basically, she went to a...
How much shit do you think we're gonna get on this video? Hey, we love and think everyone is equal. Judge you on your character, not on what you...
And this is not to
control.
like offend anyone or anything, but...
No. And hey, if you are trans and you're listening to this and you don't agree with this, feel free to comment on your thoughts. We won't ever... All thoughts welcome that are not full of hate or ignorance.
Yeah, and she...
we are not saying this from a place of hate or ignorance. We love everybody.
No, it's just discussion.
Yeah.
And it's something, too, is I don't think people should take it as, oh, they're talking bad on so-and-so, because it's really not what it is.
No. I don't think we are. I think we're just kind of using examples of things that have happened.
Yeah, but Jessica...
Is she like influencer or something?
Very, like, not a very big one. Like, she's known, but she's not, like, very known. And she hasn't really transitioned too much. And one of the things that happened was, and Blair White talked about this too, is she went to a public women's restroom the day that she became legally considered female, but looked just like a man. There was like nothing whatsoever like giving anyone the hint that they were a woman. So socially they're representing as a man, and if I were in a public restroom, like, of course I don't mind, like sharing a restroom with someone that's trans or anything, but if I see someone that appears to be a man, I'm probably going to think they're a man in the women's restroom.
I may be mistaken.
And there's like nothing, like no makeup, no hair, like no women's clothing looks
I
just like a man.
I haven't heard much in the ways of trans men wanting to go into male restrooms. I haven't heard much controversy on that. There could have been, there real could have been. I haven't heard much on that subject.
That's kind of where the all gender restrooms came from, type thing. Just because it is a concern, because it can be a safety issue for.
Oh yeah,
both cis
I think
and trans.
Unfortunately,
people.
I think no matter what conclusion we come to, some people are still going to try to abuse that, which is because humans are just shitty.
Yeah, but that was like one of the cases that they did, and another one it's actually kind of fucked up is they went to a salon and wanted to get a Brazilian wax, and it's an all women's
a trans woman.
Yeah, and it's an all women's salon, and upon meeting and discovering that she's trans, the woman said that she did not feel comfortable waxing their genitals. Because of this, they went on and actually ended up getting them shut down because they went back and talked about it.
Is that discrimination?
No. I genuinely do not believe so, especially because most businesses, they have the right to refuse,
yeah.
But one of the problems, too, is this is in Canada, and I guess that they don't have that right. However, I feel like if someone does not feel comfortable touching male genitalia, although you might be trans woman, it's still men genitalia. Mm-hmm. If they're not comfortable, then they're not comfortable.
I agree with that.
They shouldn't be forced to be in such a close proximity to that.
Well, I'm on the side of that too, but I'm also kind of on the side of be a fucking professional. I don't know.
But what if they don't have experience?
That's true. They could be experienced with doing male genitalia. I mean, I have no horse in the race. I'm not.
Because essentially, they could go somewhere where they do male and female.
Yeah,
Brazilian
that's true.
Waxing.
Well, I mean, it's kind of thing with restrooms, right? It's kind of like the place doing the thing has the right to do that. Well, I think it's a law that, like, if you serve food, you have to have a restroom. Should it be a law that every place needs to have an all-gender restroom, or should... I'm not knowledgeable enough to say anything that I'm not comfortable saying factually, because I generally don't know. I have looked into this stuff, but I'm not knowledgeable enough, and nor am I transgender.
Yeah, this got very off topic.
It did. But
like,
I think
multiple times.
It's good to have conversation about this.
Yeah, and I'm very supportive of the whole LGBT Q plus
absolutely
Z W no, just kidding. Community.
Well, I also hate the term being tolerant. It's like, I tolerate them. Like, I get the sentiment, but like, it just seems kind of shitty. Like, I tolerate it.
Just respect others.
Just mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with being gay. Like, oh, how am I gonna tell my kids a man can marry a man? Who the fuck cares? Mind your own goddamn business. Maybe don't tell them and let them figure out for themselves.
Yeah, we actually we talked about that in Liddell's, and what's her name? One of the students.
Alicia.
No. It was
Liz.
No, she was in Patty's when I was in there.
I don't know.
She wasn't very fond of you. You don't remember her name?
African American?
Yes.
Oh, her, yeah.
I don't remember her name, though.
I think I do. Whatever.
I don't remember. That's not important. Basically, we were just talking. Well, so I did a presentation on same-sex marriages, considering I come from a family, with a same-sex marriage.
Her mom is a lesbian.
Yes, she.
For how many years? Like 10 years, something like that?
She came out when I was 11, so I think I was 11. So yeah, about like 10 years. And so I decided to do a PowerPoint on it because,
Well, I guess it kind of ignorant. Do you think she was always gay, or do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've talked to her about it. And yeah.
So she came out when you were 10, but she's always
Yeah,
been
I
gay.
think it was kind of like
I didn't mean to insinuate she became gay 10 years ago.
She became... No, that's just when she came out. And I think there was, like, denial in there. You know, it wasn't just, like, she didn't know. I think there was just kind of, like, she wasn't 100% sure. But, like, after talking to her and stuff, like, she's kind of always been gay, which I should have seen coming. But...
well, also, you're bi as well, so you do have some place to stand on.
Yeah.
Or you're more... I think you said you're more pan, correct?
Honestly, I don't really know what to call it. I don't feel comfortable.
You fuck pans.
Hell yeah. I don't really feel comfortable with either of those titles. I like who I like, and I kind of just leave it at that. And
who do you like?
I like you.
Oh, okay. I don't like you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But I decided to do a PowerPoint on same-sex marriage, and so it struck up a conversation. And Liddell brought up the point that there's not a lot of research that's been done because, you know, it's such like a newer thing.
In terms of what?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say in terms of like, what's the word?
Like the effects on a child or something?
Because this was for sociology. So it was more so like, I talked about how there should be more education so it can kind of promote understanding and accepting, and not necessarily that it has to be like thrown in your face, but she brought up the point that,
well, I also don't think that really school should be the place for that either.
well, no, I'm not saying school should be like, this is a gay couple. It means like
I think if you're worried about your child learning that, you should be the one to tell them.
Well, one of the conversations I had was I can't remember her name. I'm gonna give her a fake name.
It's an L.
Lady L. I don't know. She brought up the point of, what if we don't want to explain to our kids what same-sex marriage is?
Well,
like
that's like sex ed. Like there was kids that like their parents chose them to not learn about sex ed, which is fucking stupid.
But I feel like it's not something that needs to be like shoved down their throats or anything, but it is something that should be taught with acceptance, and that it's okay to be gay.
Well, I think tolerance, and again, I use that word, should be taught.
I know, I was trying to think of different words too.
Should be just taught in general at school, like
regardless of
what
discrimination.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Like they shouldn't. I don't think it should be like, oh, tolerance of gay day or tolerance of black day or whatever. You know, like it should be tolerance of humans.
Love everybody day. Yay!
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean, I kind of learned by way of going to school in a public school and being exposed to many different people.
Yeah.
I never really had a prejudice against anybody based on their skin or whatever. You know, I don't know. I learned that by way of meeting nice people of every ilk, and also meeting shitty people from every creed. And
because we've
discussed this before.
There are shitty
like
people in the LGBT community.
Yeah,
there are shitty people that are not. There are shitty people that are.
We discussed it like
Democrats.
Oh shit. Oh god damn it! Not again.
Oh no, it's doing it again. There are shitty people that are Republicans. There are shitty people that are liberals.
We discussed it like
there are shitty people.
I've met a lot of people that are gay, and they kind of are an asshole and use the guise of, oh, I'm gay. Like, no, you're an asshole, and you're using the guise of being gay as being sassy and ironic, but no, you're being an actual dick, and you're actually being very aggressive.
Shitty human right now.
Yeah, exactly. I know a number of gay people like that. I also know a number of gay people that I fucking love that are some of the best people I know.
Like me.
Yeah. And I first noticed that with gay people because that is, I think where we grew up, that was just more common of a person who is
I mean, our high school especially was very
well, I mean
accepting.
that's very like I feel like that is more
They're
of
very
a
open.
common or more of a commonplace of that more of the LGBT community. I believe
Well, it depends on the school though, and the
well, I mean,
the
I'm just saying
region.
I met more gays than I have trans or lesbians, I guess. No, well, I
Well,
mean, I guess that's
because
goes together as well.
essentially, trans it stems off of like a mental disorder specifically, where
That's gonna
body
that's
dysmorphia.
that's gonna piss people off.
No, it's
But no,
true
I
because
believe it absolutely does.
there I've seen arguments on different people that like Trisha Paytas, you know how she came out as trans, and I'm not saying
I think she's trolling, honestly.
I don't even know, but I'm not saying that it's factual that you have to have body dysmorphia in order to be trans, but that is medically that is how you are considered transgender, and in order to go through procedures, at least in the US, you have to go through like different therapy sessions and meeting with psychiatrists. And
Do you think anyone's done it just to be like trendy? Like
definitely
it's trendy to be. It's so shitty. Like for instance, like when kind of this doesn't sound so stupid, but like when depression became popular in like
yeah,
the 20 like 20
yeah.
2011 2012, I struggle with anxiety. I have since I was about 15. Well, since very little, but I started getting panic attacks when I was about 15. And I mean, it felt like I was dying. Like I felt like I was dying daily. I would feel like my heart would stop, and it was the worst feeling ever. And I don't.
Emo.
Well, I mean,
Just
I
kidding.
mean, whatever. But like I'd go on Tumblr and I'd see people romanticizing it or
Yeah.
romanticizing depression. It's like, you want it? Fucking please take it from me because I feel like I'm dying and I can't go places anymore. I couldn't go on roller coasters anymore. I couldn't do a lot of shit that I fucking loved. Even now, like I struggle driving on the freeway because I get very anxious at night at least.
Because of how it affects you.
Yeah, and it's like I don't see that very much anymore. I see it as more of like an actual like caring, but I do see that more with like LGBT. It's like it's very trendy to be. I mean, I guess full circle with Get Out, it's trendy to be different.
I feel like I even knew people in high school that would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm bi," which like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
And I'm not saying like if somebody tells me, I'm not going to believe them, but it was just very apparent that it was not true and that it was specifically for a different kind of attention.
It's very abusive too. It's like, well, the next person who does say that they're actually bi. I mean, and granted, you can probably tell who is and who isn't, but it's very harming just to. That shouldn't be the type of trendy that's happening.
Can I get in there now?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just kind of.
You're hugging it. No, I'm just kidding.
What did I even do?
I like it.
Where am I? Who am I?
I like it so far.
Oh, that's cool. I dig it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like an octopus.
It kind of reminds me of I mean, and I'm not to be up our own ass, but kind of like Picasso-esque. Not to be up my own ass.
Yeah. I just noticed the time, but
What time is it?
It's 6:24.
Oh shit!
I have to get to a meeting.
Okay.
7.
Maybe we finish this on a part 2.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
We do a part 2.
You should make that. You should make that a 6. So 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess today's message is love everyone unless they give you reason not to. Base people on the content of their character and not on the color of their creed.
Yeah, and just honestly, don't be judgmental. And this is something too I'm trying to work on. Is like even basic things like questioning what people are wearing or anything. Like I'm in no place to. It doesn't affect me, you know. And if it doesn't affect you or your life, anything that actually matters, just let them express themselves as they want to be. And
give the Joker a 10 out of 10.
Definitely. Here's your stinky ear.
Is that me and you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very messy, but yes.
Yeah, I guess just love where you can and who you can. And who you can't, leave be.
Everyone.
Are we everyone?
Stinks.
I'm every woman. It's all in me. All right, guys, I guess that's it for now. Thank you for watching this. If you stuck the whole way through, we would really appreciate you if you subscribed. Don't really give a shit about likes and all that. Comment if you disagree with us about anything, or if you have any.
Just be respectful.
Yeah,
we're
because
not out there to offend anyone.
And yeah, if we offended you, we're sorry. We're trying to be.
We don't mean it.
I mean, I don't really think that we even.
Unless you're shitty.
We didn't even mean to offend you. I mean, if we that was not our intent. This is a place to learn and grow, and please be respectful in comments of anyone who is different than you, because we're all. Somebody realized we're all just trying to get by.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next episode. We'll probably finish this guy up. Let us know if you like it. Okay. Thanks. Bye. Bye.
No.
We're already done. I already cut.
No.
I already cut them.
No.
I already cut.
No.
I already cut. Look at OBS.
No.